you get into doing this non-performing profession that you're in? Did you have some experience in high school or college and you saw some?
Well, I went to college with a very fixed idea of what I wanted to be, and that was a concert pianist, and I knew nothing about what that meant. I didn't hang out with any concert pianists, so I didn't really know. But, you know, I was very curious, and actually I did have parents that were, so I come from a family of artists who made their living their whole lives creating art. So I was living and we had a family business doing handicraft art and storytelling and other things like that. And so I was surrounded by that, and so I was always encouraged to pursue the arts, but I also saw the struggle. They had to pivot across almost all of those different modalities. And so I was always encouraged to go and do the thing you want, but develop skills based on your curiosity around it. I wasn't thinking about any of these things, but I was encouraged to do that. And we can talk about it at maybe another time, but the long story short is that as I went through my college career and I started to understand who I was, I also started to see the people that were succeeding. And most of those people were the ones who were able to build a circle of interest around their work, to build a community, to do interesting things a little bit differently than the status quo, and were engaged outwardly with their music. It was aimed at something bigger than themselves. And then I just started getting involved in a variety of other activities. I mean, I did an MBA, but I also started an ensemble when I was in grad school and got involved with a number of other organizations. And through that process, I actually visioned this kind of career for myself. This is what I decided about 7 years ago that I really wanted to do, because I had been surrounded by people that were doing this kind of work, and I rejected the idea ultimately that my goal personally should be to have the best career as a pianist, and instead framed it around how can I find the most fulfilling way to have a life in the arts. And then all of a sudden I stopped thinking about it as being a pianist or something else, but a person that might still play piano and do other things. And the irony is that actually I have had a lot more opportunities to perform because of this other work than I ever would have had. And a lot more than a lot of the colleagues I had in grad school who were probably better pianists than me, you know, because I found a different pathway to do it for myself. So, but that's just one story.
Oh, I was going to comment with Beatrice's comment that you do some of this already by promoting versatility with your pianist and you chamber music,
Yeah.
and you have the same ideas in your slides. You know, if you encourage your students to accompany someone in solo ensemble and do chamber music and compose some music, I do a little bit of that, getting them to perform pieces. It tests their boundaries and that helps expand. But I wanted to say that I love the organization of your slides. Each one really got me pondering the issue, because when we're trying to think how can we implement this in our studios, that takes a lot of thought. And I was wondering if there was any way we can have access to your slides, if
Sure.
I can get it up on our website or something, so we could take one of those at a time and just think about that. That's because the implementation takes a lot of creativity in and of itself. And I really thought we could ponder each slide for 10 minutes.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to share the slides and the handout digitally as well.
Great work, thank you.
I would say, dovetailing off of Lester, is that this is probably the lecture our parents, the parents of our students should hear. So, as I had another student cancel yesterday because I have an AP test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it would be great to have it on our website, you know.
And I'd like to say that this is like perfect timing for me. And I had no idea really that you were going to talk about the interdisciplinary connections.
Yeah.
And so here we are trying to think of projects for our students to be sort of out in the community. What a great, just, you know, get our minds abuzz with things they could do.
The other thing, well, that's great. I'm so glad the timing worked out. The other thing I would say, and I think this goes to another point that was sort of embedded in those points you made, Beatrice, is that it's probably too much to ask a student to take on, you know, 5 of these projects or whatever on their own. I actually am a big believer, and I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have been one of those students who would have said, I don't have time for that. You know, it's not my teacher's fault that I turned away opportunities to do chamber music. I just didn't see the value in it, you know, in every context. So if there's a way to create collaboration between studios or students, sometimes that can be more work, but oftentimes it can be a way to help people get engaged in these skills in a small step that doesn't necessarily disrupt the rest of the activities that are priorities in your studio, but helps them start to see how their life as a pianist could involve more than they think, you know, more than and require some of those other skills. So collaboration can be a really good way
Yeah,
to make that happen.
cool.
All right, well, be mindful of your time. Thank you so much.
Thank